TCDA stock reached a new 52-week low of $0.56 at some point in this session of the 24th of October 2022. This is beneath the previous low of $4.32 by 87.04% and 95.96% below the 52-week high of $13.85. So TCDA's trading volume in this session is over 65 million shares. This has exceeded the average trading volume of 21.44 million shares by over 1,200%. So the news behind this huge plunge, at some point it was actually over 100%. You may ask, how does the stock actually lose 100%? Look at that. You can see it was probably trading at $10.8 or thereabouts, so it lost $10.2675. That is, you can see that roughly close to 100%. So that is what a 100% retracement looks like. So let's find out what that news is. The news is that the company did not meet primary endpoint in chronic disease patients. So the company indicated today that its phase 3 assessment of the ability of their drug Veverimer to slow the progression of chronic kidney disease in patients with metabolic acidosis did not meet its primary endpoint. The primary endpoint was defined as the time to the first occurrence of any event in the composite endpoint of renal death, end-stage renal disease, or a confirmed greater than or equal to 40% reduction in estimated glomerular filtrate rate, also known as DD40, according to a statement they put out. So the company said 149 patients treated with Veverimer experienced a DD40 primary endpoint event, compared with 148 who received placebo. So that DD40 is a confirmed greater than or equal to 40% reduction in estimated glomerular filtration. So the company went on to say, according to the CEO Gerrit Klarner, in light of the disappointing results from the trial and their cash runaway, they are evaluating the next step. So market participants are throwing away everything they have concerning the stock. You can see that they are aggressively, things are balanced out a bit now. It retracing the pre-market session. You can see the calls, they have all, you can see that this $2.50 strike has lost $9.45, and they're looking so cheap at the moment, so and coming back, let's see what other data we have. You can see here short interest on TCDA stock, according to Fintel, is 33.006% of exchange volume is at 67.45. But I believe this was even before this news came out. I want to believe that. This is also from Short Squeeze. Short Squeeze is saying that this is current 24 delayed by only 20 minutes. So the short interest here is 35.63%. It has increased by 21%. So you can see that it also has a sizable short interest. So short sellers who were probably in there, let's just believe that maybe much of these was as a result of much of these short positions was a result of this bad news. So but it has also already put the stock into a short squeeze candidate. But hey, do not say that the short squeeze will occur, because we don't exactly know. The fundamental news is not good. Yet we also know that it is in recent times, this is the sort of things market participants or short squeezers want to see. They want to see a company that is facing fundamental issues, and then a reasonable amount of short interest has already gone through. They don't want to see that combination, and to some extent TCDA has it. Poor fundamentals, and then that short interest we're looking at, which is roughly around at least more than 30%. So something could happen. This is a stock to watch. Lost a huge amount, $10 out of the stock. What is left anymore? Everything is totally gone. Went from trading in the tens now to from trading in tens of $10 and some fraction into trading below $1 in so that's a huge retracement in just one session. So volume has also exceeded the average volume. So sometimes when volumes occur, when we see these sort of huge volumes, you may expect that the people who participated in this will go away, but at the same time we also know that when a stock is approaching its bottom, it's usually with very low volumes. So maybe what we're going to see is continued activity, but in a sideways manner. Maybe we may not see a huge spike back up to maybe $5 or anything like that. We may not see that, but there's a good chance things may cool off a bit, and maybe may continue to trade in the sort of levels where it is at right now. So coming back to the chart, we can see what's going on here on the daily chart. Let's see. On the daily chart, we can see we have a couple of projections, a possible move towards 3.04. There's absolutely no guarantee that will happen. Indeed, there's also 5.74 there. Before that is 4.53. So we picked this, we plotted this grid from roughly where it closed in the last trading session. That was on the 21st. So we picked it up from $10.8 or there, even though it's indicating 10.92. We picked it up from here. We picked it from 10.87, and then brought it all the way down to where it was 0.62 at the time we plotted this. And then above we'll see all the further projections if it goes beyond if it ever returns to this sort of level anymore. But we're just going by this grid we have just plotted, we are to some extent hoping, or rather expecting, that maybe it wouldn't really cave in any further. We're rather expecting a sideways movement and maybe a slight upwards movement in the coming sessions. But there's if you go by the volumes, you probably would expect that maybe it hasn't reached the bottom yet, because usually bottoms are usually associated with low volumes, or rather decreasing volumes. But this time around we saw a huge an above average volume, so maybe we haven't reached the bottom yet. But at the same time as well, when you see huge abnormal volumes, it also means that those who participated in the event, it could be a spike or a retracement or a plunge, may go away. So how are they going to go away, or have they gone away already? Well, what we can see, the volume doesn't tell us everything. What is absolutely certain is that the people who in the midst of that volume, people were buying and people were selling, and at the same time people were also shorting. So our upper projection is 3.04. That looks like a huge one. It's there's a lot of prices in between those that sort of level, but just expect a rebound, or at least a sideways movement, but at the same time as well, it could also be a further retracement, just going by the fact that we know that bottoms are usually formed when volumes have started to drop. But so see what you make of TCDA stock. It's a huge plunge we're talking about here. Huge plunge. We normally don't get retracements up to this sort of level, up to 100%. At some point it was up to 100%. So thank you very much for watching this video.